So I am trying something a little weird this year. Here at our farm, we got a grant to do a trial with some grazing of standing corn, like grain corn, and also grain milo. Uh, so this field that I'm planting right now, it was planted to rye last fall. We grazed it off, just moved the cows off this field yesterday, and now I'm planting in corn, and it's a long maturity corn, like 111 day or something like that. And I'm actually going to double plant it, plant once and then shift over 15 inches and plant again at half the population. So it totals the normal 32,000 population. But we're going to double plant it, and then we're going to let it grow, and the plan is to graze it next fall and next winter for winter feed for the cows. Actually, yesterday when we moved the cows, we moved them over there to that field. It's also a field of rye, and the plan in that field is to do something similar as this, except instead of planting grazing corn, we're going to plant grain milo and use that as well. But the goal or the hope is that all of the grain from the corn or the milo, we're producing a lot more cow days of feed and higher quality days of feed than just a forage sorting, something like that. So we're trying it. We've not done this before, but the hope is by doing this, we can use our highly productive ground to produce a lot of cow days at a relatively low cost per day. And then, anyway, not exactly sure where I left off there, but the hope, though, is just to use this productive land, because we're in southeast Minnesota. We have really productive soils that produce 200 plus bushel corn. But putting that in pasture, we're not sure if we're fully utilizing that productive capacity of grazing. So the hope is we're trying this with grazing corn. And, there's some concerns with that, too. Also, if you're wondering why I'm bouncing so much plantings, this was a crop field we used to plant the other direction, and we were organic, and so we had cultivated, and so there's a lot of little ridges. And now that we've gone no-till, we've combined a couple of fields and we're planting the other direction, longer runs. So I'm going against those old cultivator ridges that have, over years, have worn down quite a bit. They're not nearly as bumpy as they were, but they are still very deep. So, but yeah, it's a trial. We'll see what happens. We've been trying to figure out how to best utilize this land for a grazing and a cattle-based scenario. That's what we are passionate about. We really are not able to be that competitive in the row crop business. We're small. We don't have a lot of acres. We don't have the nicest, biggest equipment, or we don't have a lot of agronomic knowledge. So none of that's our competitive advantage. But we can be competitive with cattle. We have a good knowledge of them. We've got good cows, grazing management. So we're trying to figure out how best to utilize our productive land in a cattle scenario. And this is something that people in other countries or other areas of the country have been doing. In Missouri, there's a lot of people grazing standing milo. And then, when you go north, there's a lot of people grazing grain corn. And so, we're right in between kind of the Canadians and the Missouri folks. So we're trying a little bit of each to see what best matches our context. We'll have to see how it goes. Like I said earlier, we like doing things that are a little bit weird. We're actually going to try no-tilling soybeans into standing rye organically. And then after we plant them, we got some rain coming tonight, tomorrow, and the next day. I'm sure this rye will shoot up. Then we'll roller crimp the rye, hoping that creates a nice thick mat and suppresses weeds. We got this rye planted really early last summer, so it got a lot of good fall growth and got some good spring growth and a jump on the weeds. So, hopefully it works out pretty well. We've done it in the past, and we had some decent success with it in the past. When you look down in there now, you can see some little weed seedlings, not a lot. But hopefully that mat keeps the weeds at bay. And then also, we've got access to, or we're gonna have a guy custom weed zap this. So anything that does pump through, hopefully we'll be able to take care of with the weed zapper. Interesting looking right here. This, for some reason, the rye didn't come up here very well. And there's just a patch of lamb's quarter, and there's some ragweed already coming up.
and you go just a few feet further into where the rye is, and down in there, there's some little seedlings. They might still get smothered by this, but it's much cleaner. It'll be interesting to see.
Got my co-pilot Colton here with me, but yeah, we're trying this. We've done it in the past. We're no-tilling soybeans into standing rye, and the plan is that we're going to get rain for a couple days, so soybeans are going to germinate. They're going to start to grow. The rye will grow a little more, get a little taller, and then we'll come in and roll or crimp it later. All this biomass of all this rye will lay down and be a couple-inch thick mat of rye that will hopefully smother out the weeds. The soybeans grow up through that and continue to grow with a lot less weed pressure. We will likely have some weeds. I don't think we can get 100% away from weeds. We're fortunate that we know somebody who has a weed zapper, and that's like, it's a big PTO powered generator that runs electricity through this 40-foot bar on the front, and it zaps everything, and everything it touches just dies. And so we'll run that over top of the soybeans. All the weeds that kind of punch out above the soybeans will get hit with that weed zapper. So yeah, we like to try weird things here. Not saying we're right on anything, but we're always trying something new, hoping that we'll find a way to be more profitable, more sustainable, more labor efficient, better lifestyle, stuff like that. So one downside of this, though, I can't see anything going on with those row units, and I don't know, hopefully they're good. I can see the monitor and see things that are planting and stuff, but I got to get out every now and then just to make sure they're still in the ground and everyth's working right there. All right, so I wanted to come out and make sure it was all working properly. So we got, here's a row. You can't even walk through it? Yeah. There's one. So it's about 1.25 inches deep. I think that's right where we want it. Every row looks like it's closing up good.